And now, please welcome Mark Lowry, founder and CEO of Jet, to the stage for a fireside chat with Ann Dinocenzio of the Associated Press. And please join us in wishing Mark a very happy birthday. Looking good, Mark.
Your time is up, my time is now.
I like the
You
song.
can't see me, my time is now. Time is now. Time is now. Time is now. Time is now.
So, Mark, it was great to see you a few weeks ago at your offices in Hoboken,
Yeah, same.
overlooking the Hudson River. And now you're here. Can't wait to talk to you about kind of your journey, your business, and where it's going. So, for the audience here who do not know what Jet.com's model is all about, maybe you can talk to them about, how it works.
Sure. Jet.com is a next-generation e-commerce marketplace. We got about 11 million products now for sale on the site across all categories. And the primary way in which Jet differentiates itself is through what we call the smart cart technology. We're empowering consumers to shop in a smarter way that pulls logistics costs out of the system, out of the overall ecosystem, so that they save money. And so Jet is really about giving people more control and allowing them to save money when they shop smarter. When I mean smarter, I mean building bigger baskets of product that can come from a single warehouse in close proximity to where the customer lives. And all the calculations are done in real time as a consumer shops. So unlike other marketplaces which have a very product-centric approach, that is, there's a product and retailers compete for the low price on that item, we take more of a basket-centric approach, whereas you don't pick the retailer you want to buy from. You choose the basket of product, and then at checkout, we'll determine what's the optimal way to get that basket of product to you by looking through to all the inventory pools that exist in the country from all the merchants based on where you live. Then that was sort of the original sort of idea. We've taken it a step further by doing that calculation in real time as consumers shop. So if you have two things in your basket, let's say a bag of dog food and a dog bowl, and you search for a dog leash, you may get the same exact results on Jet as you do other marketplaces. But what we've done in less than a second there, we've calculated the marginal cost to ship each one of those leashes that come up in the search results. To the extent that the leash can ship together with what's in your basket from a warehouse in close proximity to you, the marginal cost to ship may be close to zero, and so there's savings there. We pass those savings back to the customer in the form of these smart cart savings. So some leashes will have smart cart savings and other leashes won't. And this is to encourage people to basically build these bigger, smarter baskets and save money as a result. And so we see that consumers are saving about 4 to 5% versus what would be standard in the market. They're also building bigger baskets. On average, we see about 6 units per order, which is quite a big difference from other marketplace sort of baskets. So we're able to pull a lot of shipping costs out of the system.
So you're really changing the customer behavior in a way, or customers are changing their behavior, right, to save more money.
Yeah,
right?
We definitely see that. We see them gravitating toward these smart cart items. So they can certainly still buy anything they want, but they'll see savings on things that are smarter to purchase, and they are choosing products that are smarter. This is especially important in a long tail marketplace where you might have thousands of products that are somewhat fungible, like a black cell phone case, for example. They may be hundreds of different cases. We'll show you these are the ones that are smarter to buy because the marginal cost to ship is nearly zero. You don't really get that transparency in a typical marketplace today, and as a result, you see a lot of what we call split shipments, where items will come from different locations. That's really inefficient. And the idea is that over time, the marketplace continues to get more and more efficient as you see more inventory pools pop up for more merchants.
So tell me about some of your metrics that are encouraging. I mean, you launched last July. I think you have 11 million products. Tell me some more, kind of numbers that you can give us.
Sure. So yeah, we launched in July. We just crossed this month $1 billion in gross merchandise sales. So we're really happy about that. That's running ahead of plan. We've got over 3 million buyers on the site. We're adding close to 400,000 new buyers a month. We're seeing really good average order size. We're seeing really good repeat rates. It's starting to come together now.
Okay. So now, obviously, you've been under the spotlight since you launched. There were reports of a cash crunch at the end of the year, and you dropped your membership fee. So tell us why you dropped your membership fee. Some people thought you changed your business model.
Yeah, we never actually charged anybody for the membership. We were sort of in testing early on, so we knew we would have a advantage when it comes to pricing because of the smart card technology. And we're just experimenting, like what would happen to conversion rates if we doubled down on price by basically charging a membership and passing all the profits back to the customer in the form of lower prices. And what we found was the differential in conversion rates wasn't really enough to justify basically shrinking our market opportunity because we knew that only a certain percentage of people would buy it. It also capped our profitability at $50 per member. And it just wasn't that big of a difference. We were seeing much higher conversion rates just from the smart card technology. So we thought, let's just not charge people and just go after a much bigger market opportunity, which I think turned out to be a great decision.
And what about the cash crunch? Was that something that was always planned?
The cash crunch, that's funny how, yeah, startups need to raise money to survive. And yeah, we planned that from the beginning. And we just completed a $619 million Series B round as scheduled. Actually, it was higher than we wanted. I think we originally were talking between 500 and 550. So there was never an issue of being under a cash crunch. It simply meant we needed to, raise another round, which we did. Yeah.
So who is your consumer? Is it the Costco consumer? Are you trying to, do you need to steal an Amazon customer to be viable?
Yeah, that's the thing. The market is massive, and people like to point to Amazon, but if you look at retail in general, there's about 10 retailers today with greater than a $50 billion market cap. You're over like somewhere around 3.5 to 4 trillion, the way you define retail. A large portion of that is coming online over the next 10 years. We're about 300 billion online today, but in 10 years we'll be about $1 trillion. So $1 trillion online, there's going to be more than one player. It's not a winner-take-all retail. It never has been. And there's, I think, plenty of opportunity for a very large number 2 and even number 3, number 4 player.
So you're not actually taking on Amazon. You just feel you can coexist with Amazon and be a sizable player.
Absolutely, and go after a different type of customer. So we're really going after customers that want to shop smarter to save money. It's a different type of customer.
So how are you attracting customers? We see ads on TV, and what have you learned about retaining customers?
Yeah, so I think we're a little bit unique as an internet company. We have relied heavily on offline advertising, so TV, print, direct mail, outdoor, some really good brand building stuff. We definitely want to establish that emotional connection. We don't want it to be straight transactional. I mean, we do the Google PLAs, and we do display, and we do more traditional forms of marketing. We certainly drive app downloads as well. But I think the offline stuff, you're able to tell more of a story and build a brand and build that emotional connection, which I think will pay dividends in the long term. It's not something you'll see results necessarily day one. But we do see, pretty good market awareness for a company 10 months post-launch. So we're happy about that.
So can you talk a little bit about your retention rate? Like what percentage do come back?
Yeah, so far we're seeing about 1/3 of the customers come back, which by e-commerce standards is pretty good. We're pretty happy with that. That's similar to what we had seen at my last company, Diapers.com and Wag.com and Soap.com. So, and the great thing is we see the repeat rates seem to be improving every month as the experience gets better. We know we still have a long way to go with respect to the experience. There's still some, well, not still some, there's a lot of work that we need to do to get to where we want to go. But it steadily improves every month. So
I'm sure we all want to know about your path to profitability, when you expect that to happen.
Yeah, so I've said even before we launched that our goal was to turn profitable in 2020. That's by design. We're currently profitable on a gross margin basis today, so we're making money in the products we sell. But obviously, we're investing a ton of that money back into marketing and more. And marketing hits your bottom line today as a loss, but as we know, it's an investment for the future. And so, as long as the cost to acquire a customer is a fraction of the lifetime value you expect from the customer, then you're going to want to keep spending. And right now, the relationship between the two looks great, and that means we'll continue spending, and hopefully we'll continue to be able to invest in marketing through 2020 to $20 billion in GMV. If we weren't able to spend marketing efficiently, we'd actually get profitable sooner, which may seem counterintuitive, but that's the way the numbers work.
Okay. And I guess about, you're all about the purple box and some of these other emotional connections. Talk to me about how you've created this emotional bond with customers. And
sure, this is something that I learned from my previous company, from Diapers.com. I think, in life, it's the same thing with relationships that you have with your spouse or your friends and things. It's like the connection you develop is the most important thing that you have. It's based on being open and having trust. And the same thing goes with customers. We want to talk to customers. We want to be transparent. We want to trust them. And we want to build that emotional connection. And we want to do all the little things that matter to people. It's not the sort of necessarily the big things are a given, but it's the little touch points. It's the handwritten notes that we do. It's the personalized videos. I just recently...
Well, tell me about the personalized videos.
I just recently went to the warehouse to film all day. I think it was about 150 personalized videos. And if we're going to sort of pilot that, if that goes well, I plan on going back and trying to do 1,000 of them. But basically, a one-on-one sort of personal video to customers. We've also strategically positioned our customer care center in Salt Lake City because we felt like, that was the best place to provide, amazing customer.
Not Manhattan,
service.
But
yeah.
So let's maybe play the video. There's a video that of Mark thanking a customer.
Hey, Ann. I'm Mark. Welcome to Jet, and thanks for shopping with us. We want you to know that you're helping us build something amazing. Sure, we want to revolutionize e-commerce, but that's not what gets us up in the morning. We're hoping for much more. We're hoping to revolutionize how a business is run. Our mission is to expose inefficiencies and uncover savings opportunities in every part of every transaction. We know it's still early days, so if anything goes wrong, let us know, and we'll do everything we can to fix it. We're excited to have you on this journey with us, and thanks again for shopping at Jet.com.
That's great. I think you said thank you, Ann, and I'm not a Jet.com customer yet, but I will be. So tell me also about, as you're growing your business, what's the number of employees you have now?
We're like 2,000.
2,000. So what is the biggest challenge? Because when I was in your office, it's great culture, so what's the biggest challenge for you?
By far, the biggest challenge we face today is just keeping the culture intact as we scale the company. So I definitely put a lot of time into establishing a set of core values early on around trust, transparency, and fairness. And I was involved in interviewing every person in the beginning, and then as you start to grow, you can't interview every person. You have to rely on the people you've brought in to sort of carry the torch on the values and keep that bar really high for the quality of people that we bring in. I think at the end of the day, and this goes with any company, you're going to live or die by the quality of the people that you bring into the organization and how empowered and happy and motivated they are when they get there. I think if you hire great people and you create an environment that really, truly brings out the best in them, then at that point, there's nothing you can't do.
Is it hard to retain, not retain, but is it hard to hire people, the right people? Right?
It's always hard to hire, the top people. for sure. We've been fortunate, just given the press we've gotten and the growth trajectory we're on. We've had amazing people come in for interviews, and we've hired some of the top people around.
I mean, from Amazon, from
all the top companies, yeah.
So can you talk to us about these goggles? Here are these goggles that you send to your prospective recruits. Is that correct?
Yeah, especially for ones that are not local to Hoboken in New Jersey area. That's the Oculus, and we've built an experience that people could put the goggles on and experience the Jet culture, walk around the office, see what happy hour is like, see what meetings are like, see what an all hands is like. So just truly immersive, like 3D sort of a virtual reality experience.
I think you need to be sitting down to wear these because it does make you dizzy, but these will be available. So maybe for the audience, for people who are involved in startups, maybe you can give them advice for those who want to raise money. How do you get people to invest money in your business? You've raised $800 million, right, so far since July?
Yeah.
Yeah.
800 million since
last
the
July.
beginning.
Yeah.
Since
So what would you
raising
say?
money.
So yeah, any advice you'd give them?
I'd say one thing that's two things that are probably counterintuitive. They're the obvious things, like you want to tell a good story and have a long-term vision and an at-scale business model that's economically viable and work backwards from that. That's sort of common stuff. I think there's two things, though, that are somewhat counterintuitive. One is, and this is the opposite of what I typically hear. Typically, entrepreneurs, they create a financial plan when they're young. That's the best financial plan they can get venture capital investors or angel investors to believe, thinking that'll maximize valuation and maximize the chances of raising money. The problem is, this is more than just a one and done in terms of raising money. You have to raise money multiple times, most likely.
Yeah.
And so my advice would be, put together a financial plan that's the worst plan you can get and raise money on. And they're very different sometimes. Because once you raise money on a plan that you know you can crush, you build momentum. And it's that momentum that's going to carry you from round to round. Because there's definitely, the investment community is a lot smaller than people think. And word spreads quickly. If you're crushing plan, you're going to get people's attention. If you're not hitting plan, it's going to be tough. So that's the first piece of advice.
Actually, as you are looking at this year, you're going to be looking to raise more money because you're going to be pushing, right, fresh. Talk about some of the priorities this year. You're expanding into fresh, maybe, and really focusing on the experience and consumables. So we'd love to know more about the fresh test.
Sure. So yeah, we did just launch fresh a couple weeks ago. We've been in test for a while, but we launched it to about 800 zip codes in New Jersey and New York. And so far the pilot's going really well. And we hope this summer to expand it from Washington, D.C. to Boston, fresh. The entire area. We've done something a little bit different from what people are currently doing. We're shipping the fresh in refrigerated boxes, and we're also trialing with refrigerated coolers, which we would then pick up. So we can use national carriers as opposed to our own delivery network, and you don't have to have a set time window. It can sit in a cooler for multiple days and stay below 40 degrees, as well as frozen food. And shipping out of one central warehouse allows us to carry a much wider assortment of fresh. So we might not have the full assortment today, but we're quickly adding assortment.
It's a tough business, though, isn't it? I mean, you have to make sure the eggs don't crack, right? And
it is.
So
it
you're
is.
working on packaging that?
Packaging is a big part of it, yeah. We've been testing packaging for months. We think we have it in a really good place now, but there's still more to learn.
And then what's the other priority this year? Focusing on the experience?
Focused on the experience, definitely. We've invested a lot in this universal catalog, which is basically, there's only one product description and image. So when retailers upload SKUs, we make sure that we match to the catalog. People can't just send stuff in and create listings like they can in other marketplaces. So that's a big focus. Just content, pictures, descriptions, titles, attributes, all the little stuff. We're working on that. We're working on really building out the consumable assortment. We have about 60,000 consumable products in our warehouses now. We're able to ship 2-day nationwide and overnight to about 55% of the country from those 3 DCs, so really good delivery times on consumables. We're going to continue to push ship speed there. And then we acquired Hayneedle, which is a home retailer, and that's gone really well. And our goal is to really invest more in the home category and accelerate growth in that area.
So anything else that, I'm sure a lot of things keep you up at night, but anything else that keeps you up at night? In terms of, I know you're trying to keep the culture going, retain the culture, keep the momentum going and the money.
What keeps me up, what kept me up a few months ago, or 6 months ago, or a year ago, seems to change. Right now, it's just culture. Things seem to be, moving in the right direction. I think we've got a clear vision. We've hired great people. We're making progress. I feel good about most other things. It's really the culture and the speed at which we're bringing people in that keeps me up most.
But do you feel good about where you've been?
I feel really good, yeah. It was a little bumpy when we first launched. We went from 0 to 20,000 orders a day in a matter of weeks from a cold start. Yeah. That was bigger than my last company was when we sold it to Amazon after 5 years. We kind of just stepped into it, and we suffered some massive pain getting through that. But I think we're in a good place now.
Well, you're learning to scale, right? You want to scale your business. Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you,
for this talk. Thank you. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mark and Ann. I think special occasions call for special treatment. So, with that in mind, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You know what? We won't put you through that, Mark. Ladies and gentlemen.